Hello there and welcome to this special Designed By show where we are going to be bringing you incredible designs that have been created by our Linda. How are you doing, Linda?
I'm fine, thanks very much, Carol.
Fantastico. You put this bundle together, haven't you?
Did, yes.
It's an absolute beauty, isn't it?
It is beautiful, isn't it? So pretty.
Some amazing gemstones in here. They look absolutely gorgeous. We've got a lot to get through in this half an hour, so we'll get right on to showing you the gemstones that there are in this incredible collection. You've got white quartz faceted rounds here. Really lovely, lovely faceted rounds. Really giving you loads of that gorgeous brilliance and sparkle that you'd expect to get from bright white quartz. White moonstone 8mm rounds. You'll get a lovely silvery white glow from these incredible gems, which is just gorgeous. So beautiful white moonstone 8mm rounds. How about we offer you apatite nuggets, 6x8mm in diameter. Really stunning qualities here, absolutely gorgeous apatite nuggets. Another strand of apatite nuggets as well. These are slightly more irregular in size and shape. They're around about 8x3 to about 15x4mm in diameter. Stunning genuine gemstones here, and then we add this beautiful strand of aquamarine. Now this is a really soft, gentle blue, almost like a blue-green aquamarine. It's stunning. 170 carats in these faceted rondelles. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strands of gemstones. We also offer you 15 meters of 0.25mm gauge antique bronze coloured copper wire, 10 meters of 0.4mm gauge antique bronze coloured copper wire, and 10 meters of 1mm gauge antique bronze coloured copper wire. So you've got 3 gauges here, 0.25, 0.4 and 1mm gauge as well as the 5 strands of gemstones, the 2 apatite, the moonstone, the aquamarine and the clear quartz. Now it's a lot of carat weight you're getting here, a lot of very, very rare gemstones as well, not to mention which you've also got 35 meters of wire as well. Feel free to get involved either by giving us a call on our free phone number or by getting involved on our website, JewelleryMaker.com. The code for this is IBGC28, and this is your price for this incredible, incredible collection. Queen of the Forest, $27.95. I love the name of this one. It sounds mystical, doesn't it? $27.95 for everything in front of you here. Absolutely tremendous. Now you can come in and get this anytime within the next half an hour or so. I'm going to head straight over to Linda because we do have a lot to get through. Do you want me to bring anything over for you, Linda?
No, I'm absolutely fine, thanks,
Cup of
Carol.
tea? Anything like that?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Cup of tea. Gin and tonic, maybe?
Oh, that'd even better.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be lovely. Tough, you've just got me. Sorry. Fantastic. Now, what you've made from this collection is absolutely sensational. Was this an idea that you had in your head first, or was it something which grew organically?
No, it was when I put the kit together, bundled the kit together, and then I have to think of a name for it. And then that moved me on to sort of thinking of pictures in my head to design something that would be sort of Queen of the Forest, Titania-esque.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. This is really, really stunning. I love these leaves that you've created here. It's such a wonderful, it's actually, even though it's a statement piece, it's a really soothing, calming looking piece of jewellery to look at because of these beautiful aquamarines and this stunning wire work you've done here as well. It's just like leaves just laid over the top of each other. It's really, really sweet. Gorgeous. You're going to take us through this necklace from kind of beginning to end, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Where are we going to start?
We're going to start with the front of the necklace being the leaves. There are 3 different size leaves, and we need to make 3 of each size.
Okay.
So 3 small, 3 medium, and 3 large.
Okay.
And effectively what we do is we work from the outside with a small, then we go into a medium, and we overlap them, and then we put a medium and a small and the large together and overlap, and then do a mirror image. So that gives you that sort of oval, busy look, but it's very simple to achieve. Stunning.
Brilliant.
So, to begin with, we're using the 1mm wire, and because it's on a curve, it's just the natural shape of what I'm looking for. So if you take that off of the wire spool like that and retain the shape, and then just sort of clip it off anywhere really. And then the very first leaf, being the small one, we're going to use, if we look at this, that we've got a gentle sort of twist and a turn, we're going to look at roughly just under a half, between a third and a half, okay?
Ah, okay.
So all we do is, and just remember that we're going to make 3 of this size that I'm going to make now. So just cut it off. So you've got a nice half curve, okay? And then using flat nose pliers, get the centre points and literally keep a very firm grip there, and then take the 2 ends together.
Lovely.
Okay? Don't worry too much if they don't quite mix there, because you can just trim that off.
Okay.
So you've got quite a nice little leaf shape emerging. Don't forget, these are only fantasy leaves. They're not meant to be a specific leaf, as it were. Trim it off, and then taking your flat nose pliers again, go in at the end, around about, probably about 1/4 centimetre maximum, okay? And just kink it up so that you've got sort of an upright, as it were. And do that again on the other side, okay? Don't worry too much again about it being exactly the same, because this is purely, all right, I'm a very organic piece, okay?
Lovely.
So, round nose pliers now, we're just going to come in and we're just going to do a nice little loop, okay?
Lovely.
And then exactly the same on the other side, going in the opposite direction. Make a nice little loop again. And then, taking the flat nose pliers, just bend them inwards. You imagine at this point, this is where they're going to attach to the beading thread.
So, so you're making a little bail, really, aren't you?
Yeah. So just literally bring them in so that they're both facing the same direction, but they're following sort of a parallel, as it were. And then you can imagine the beading thread popping through.
Okay.
And we need to make 3 of those, okay, 3 of that size, and then exactly the same technique to make one, which I call my medium one, which is going to be between just over a half up to 3/4 of the complete coil. Okay, now this is very much down to you. You can make your own size, you can make them smaller or larger, but effectively try and make 3 different
as long as you've got 3 of each.
Roughly the same size, okay? And then obviously, then we need to make 3 much larger ones, which is the larger one that you'll need to make over a complete spoil. So on that one, if you go back to the circle, just simply straighten it out a little, okay, and then just make the circle a little bit bigger, which you can do quite easily, and then take the one side over and the other side over to a rough match, and just clip it off there. And that might look overly large at the moment, but it won't be, because by the time you've made the shape, okay, and then you've pulled them back,
it'll be just the right size, won't it?
It'll be just the right size. You can, because you need that crossover there to pull it back, pull the other side back, and then to chop it off to make your little anchoring point. Okay, so we've made the 9 leaves. Okay, 3 of each size. Then what we need to do then is to decorate these leaves, like one with the apatite on, one with the clear quartz. It's entirely up to you how you make them. If you want to make what I've made, then we put the apatite on the small, the clear quartz on the medium, and then the white moonstone on the larger one. And I've just created a slightly different pattern. Remember, when you do them, that we are going to create a mirror image. We're coming to the centre, so we can effectively have, what we need to have is one like that for the outside. Let me move them on a bit. And then obviously when you do the mirror image, you just need to pop it onto the other side. Okay?
Yeah.
So to effect the putting on of the gemstones onto the wire, I then revert to my 0.25.
Lovely.
Okay, and just take off probably about in old money about 10 inches of the wire.
I suppose having this mirror image stops the necklace from becoming too busy and too random. It's got a bit of symmetry there.
Yeah, exactly. It provides a centre point.
Oh, yeah.
And as they cross over, it gives you quite a nice baseline going on at the sort of neckline, you know, where the neckline should have a focal point.
Yeah, it does.
It provides its own. And no matter how many times you make this necklace, it'll always look slightly different, which is the beauty of
which is brilliant, yeah.
So, to put on the kyanite onto the small leaf, which we're just putting on one of the kyanite nuggets, these are the larger nuggets, just thread it onto your 0.25 wire like so. Okay, now what I like to do then, just so I've got some anchorage, is I like to bring the wire round and just turn the gemstone a little, so that that gemstone now isn't going to slip. Let's do that again. It's not going to slip along the leaf, okay? So then we take the leaf. Again, don't overwork this at all. It's absolutely fine. Just sort of dangling. But the first anchoring is if you just put your thumb onto the gemstone and then take the wire as near to that loop at the top as you can, giving it a little bit of firmness, okay? And then again, it doesn't matter, because of the shape of the nugget, it might look as if it's going to dangle, it may lay flat, it may stay proud, but they're all slightly different shapes. So now what we have to do is to push our wire underneath the leaf, make that first anchor, push it underneath the leaf again, and you might find it's easier to use your flat nose pliers to pull it through. And just put it through, just 2 or 3 times, okay? And then edge the gemstone into position, and then again taking both of these excess on the wire, if you hold onto the gemstone and then twist the whole leaf,
nice,
and that will give you some nice firmness, okay? And then just trim off your excess.
Gorgeous.
Okay? And then all you need to do then is to make another 2 of those, okay? That's one for the centre and one for the other side, okay? And then on my medium leaf, I put on 3 of the clear quartz.
Okay.
So take a slightly longer length of the 0.25
These clear
wire.
quartz are beautiful. The faceting's amazing on them.
They really are beautiful. It's probably one of the clearest I've seen, and the faceting is quite small. So there's a lot of facets. There might be about 120, I think, on there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Now, what I found easier when I'm putting on more than one gemstone onto a decoration, a leaf in this case, is by anchoring my wire in the first place. So take the leaf, take the wire, and anchor the wire on, okay?
Okay.
And then pop your excess out. Keep the excess, because that's what we're going to, when we've got our 3 on, we're going to use that to twist and make extra stability. Then thread on one of your clear quartz and let that drop down, a bit like tiara making. Let it drop down to its base.
Lovely.
And hold the gemstone, and again wrap. And it's much, if you have your opening towards you, you can push and wrap through, and that'll give you a lot more tension on the wire in order to get sort of it fixed. Thread on the next one.
Okay.
Okay, again, this is just like the tiara technique. Hold the gemstone, let it drop against the leaf shape and wire on. Okay, give it 3, 4, 5, 6, as many as you want for sort of confidence. The next one that comes on will give it even more stability. So we pop the 3rd one on, let it drop down. Again, holding all 3 gemstones together, wrap around the wire. The first one is probably going to determine the next 2. Okay, so now what we've got now is our 3 gemstones sitting at the base of that leaf. And then using that little bit of excess that you left at the beginning, holding on to that and the excess from the end of the wire, again, twist on the whole of the leaf, you get far more control through the wrist doing it like that, and trim off the excess. Okay?
Lovely.
So that's the first one of the clear quartz. So make another 2 of those. One you could make exactly the same, and then one make slightly in the opposite direction, that it's coming over on that direction.
Of course, yes.
Okay? And then on the moonstone one, I'll show you the moonstone one. This is the larger one.
It's the large one.
Exactly the same technique again, by threading the wire on first onto the wide shape, and then just coming down whatever shape you want, but I just kept them in a long line. Exactly the same technique as we used on the clear quartz one.
Stunning.
So make 3 of those, again 1 for each side and 1 for the centre.
Right.
Then we come to the fun part of putting all of our gemstones onto our beading thread now. So if you lay them out in front of you, you've got your kyanite nugget end, then you've got the 2 of the clear quartz that are coming in slightly, then you have a moonstone on either side. You've got your 2 mirror images.
Oh, lovely.
And then through the centre we have the moonstone, and then sitting on top of that we have the clear quartz, and then sitting on top of that we have the apatite again.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so what we have to do now is to take a length of beading thread, just the usual beading thread that if anybody has bought kits and things, this is what we supply in our kits, stainless steel beading thread. Take a normal length, a necklace length plus, so if you're making a say 18-inch necklace, then probably double that so that you've got plenty of room for manoeuvre. Okay, and then I'm going to work from the centre around the neckline.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is, to start it off, I literally took the little beautiful apatite chips. Okay, you can, if you're sort of a perfectionist and would like to sort them out in graduating sizes, then do so, because you do have every opportunity for that with these, I noticed. But just thread on 3. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have our 3 there, and now the next thing is to do is to thread on the smaller leaf with the apatite on the edge. Okay, we thread it just through the one hole. Okay, just through the one loop. Thread it on. Let's just move that along, and then to have a little decoration going on inside of these leaves, thread on another of the apatite.
Ah, yes, you can see it's in the centre. Ah, lovely.
Then the overlapping, you can actually start to, if you want to, you can pull them apart, because they will go back, because they've been pinched at the point, they'll go back again. Pull it apart. Now, what we have to do now is we're starting the overlapping process. So we take the next one in line, which is the clear quartz one, okay, and we thread through the first wrapped loop on that, and just let it fall, okay? And then thread on another apatite. It's very much a repetition now. Thread on another apatite, and then what we have to do then is to go back to the first leaf that you threaded, okay, and thread through the second loop on that one. Okay. Don't worry too much about how it's looking at the beginning, because once you give it a shake at the end, it'll all fall into place. Yeah. Then the next thing we do then, it's a repetition of leaf, one edge, then the little nuggets, apatite nuggets, then the fresh leaf in line, then we go back to the previous and the last loop of the previous leaf. Yes. Then another apatite. And then, so we're ready now to put on another apatite.
It does make sense.
It does, doesn't it? It will do as you're actually putting it together.
It will make sense. And I've got a very small brain.
Apatite. And then we're going to start the next leaf. So we put the first loop of the next leaf in, and then another apatite chip. Okay, and then we go into the previous leaf. So take the beading thread back through the previous leaf and pull through. Okay, and then we then need to do, we just need to, sometimes it catches, so we just need, then we need to do another of the apatite, and then the slightly tricky one next is bringing in all three of the centre.
Okay.
So how I did it was I took the larger one and popped through the loop, the first loop of that one. Then I brought in the medium-sized one and threaded through the loop on that one. And then the smallest one, it's like the three bears, the smallest one threaded through the loop on that one. It all looks a bit of a jangle at the minute, but trust me, it will come together like a jigsaw in the end. Then one of the little apatite nuggets. Then we need to go back to the loop of the previous leaf, and then we start our mirror image. So we're going to bring in a medium next. Okay, actually no, we're going to put in a nugget.
Come on, Linda.
And then when we thread it on this nugget, we bring in, we're starting the mirror image on the medium, okay? So we put in the medium one.
Go through the first loop.
Yeah, go through the first loop. And then we have to jiggle back and find all three of the three that are in a little bundle, okay, and pop them in, okay? And then you come back then to another apatite, and then we bring in the next one, and then the next one, and then we go through all, obviously when we bring the next one in, we go through all three. Now when you bring those together, if you wouldn't mind bringing the original over, I can work from this one now. When we've got all three in, okay, if you give them all a little shake, they will then all fall in. You see you've got your first one overlapped with the second, overlapped with the third, overlapped with the little section at the beginning that we made of the three of the bundle. Then we've got the overlapping again, so you've got a complete mirror image. So when you've got to that point there, then repeat your three little nuggets as the mirror image over here.
So it's basically apatite. So it's basically apatite, the first loop of the first one.
Yes.
The first loop of the second one. Apatite, the second loop of the first one. The first loop of the third one.
Yes.
Apatite.
Yes.
The second loop of the second one. The first loop of the third one.
Yeah. Once you start to get into,
you can get your own variation on it, can't you? I suppose.
You can. Yeah. And when you start to get into this rhythm, it will prove to be really.
No, it really will do, yeah.
And as I say, it is a complete repetition. The whole design is a repetition of a central mirror image. When you've got this centre in place, then I put on the three little apatite nuggets that I started with, followed by 5 of the aquamarine rondelles, followed by the larger nugget of apatite, all the way around to the top. Did the mirror image round to the other side, and then just attached my toggle clasp there. And that's the whole design complete. Now, if you enjoy making this pendant, this centre point here, when I'd finished the design, I mocked it up a few times, and I found that if I made all of those leaves, those 9 leaves, in exactly the same way I've told you to make it for the centre of this necklace, and threaded the beading thread all the way through, and then pulled on both ends of the beading thread, it joins into the most beautiful petal flower that you could use on another design. So it's a 2-in-1 really. Yeah. If you pull those all together you will get a really
massive
quite
3D.
beautiful 3D petal flower, and all the petals will be overlapping, and it's really, really pretty. You could do a very large one, or you could do very, very small ones for working on bracelets, to do a bracelet or some little matching earrings. But it's a nice technique, and it has got its variances. You could completely cover the whole of the leaves in gemstone if you wanted to wire them on, or you could use them as a starting point to do some little charm dangles from. You
could have leaves up here, you could have leaves around here.
But the whole thing about this little part of the necklace is that once you've done it and you've made this necklace, you will find that you can move on to many, many more variations of that design.
Looks like it could be a centrepiece to a tiara
almost, doesn't it?
It really is
much so.
Such a useful technique.
Very much so.
Oh, fantastic. So other than the kind of the method, the kind of repetitive part of how to place these leaves down, was there anything else that you found that you that would have been useful to have known before you started? Was there anything that you thought, oh, I wish I'd have known that, and then as you were going through you found you could work through that problem?
Sometimes when we first start to make a piece of jewellery, we tend to get ourselves, we run away a little bit with the mental picture, with the little pictures that we've got in mind. But sometimes it's better to break that picture up and see it step by step, which is what it's a really good idea about these little tutorials. We can break them down step by step, and then that'll make the whole thing far more efficient in the way that it's made. And it, like I've just said, it will lead you on to variances of the technique that you've just used. So to answer your question, yes, the first time I did it, I made the leaves and started. I made the leaf one by one and started. And then I thought, no, the best way to do it is to make it up in pieces. Make it up in steps, have them all in front of you, and then put it together just like a jigsaw. A lot of jewellery making can be enhanced by actually even if you don't want to make a piece of jewellery, say that particular evening or afternoon when you're sitting, make up some bits and pieces. And then use them in the future. And this is one of those techniques that you could make several of in several different gemstones, even several different shapes. You could put a centre vine through the middle of those leaves.
It's lovely. You can pre-make bits, just a bit of organisation. You can really get to grips. I mean, we've seen there all those leaves just laid out, ready to use. You've got your design laid out. It's a little bit like using your beading board, isn't it, to plan out that piece of jewellery. It gives you a much clearer idea, because I know what you mean. You know, as a jewellery maker myself, making those pieces and getting really caught up in the moment, and just that little bit of planning, fantastic.
Well, I think to be honest, if you have a preconceived idea, go with it, right? But most preconceived ideas actually do alter from beginning to end. It ends up as something a little bit different to what you first saw. So if you do want to make a specific design, make everything up first, step by step.
Stunning. I'm just going to pop that back on the bust if that's all right, Linda. It's a stunning piece that you've made here, and it's just so lovely to see the gemstones used in such a way. And I really have enjoyed doing these designed by shows, because it allows you as a guest designer to go from beginning to end. I mean, that's been such a nice,
that is really nice.
Such a luxury, isn't it?
But again, I mean, there's some stunning gemstone in this set.
Oh, there really are.
Great price, fantastic price.
Under £30.
I think that's amazing. I really do.
You've got the 5 strands. I'll just show you the strands again if you'd like to see them. You've got aquamarine, 2 strands of apatite, moonstone, clear faceted quartz rounds, which are just delicious, and they look like so much fun to work with. You've also got your 10 metres of 1mm gauge antique bronze coloured copper wire, 10 metres of 0.4mm gauge, and 15 metres of 0.25mm gauge wire as well. A stunning collection, and you're quite right. Under £30 really isn't amazing. I mean, let's not get away from the price. The price is absolutely amazing.
It's totally amazing. It really is.
Stunning. I really hope you've been inspired by this design because it's one of those gorgeous designs that you can maybe adapt for yourself. Maybe you can make little stars or little hearts instead of leaves. You can really adapt this kind of piece. You can have petals and leaves going round the necklace or just at the bottom like Linda's done here. It's a really lovely technique, this one, and you've explained it so clearly. Thank you so much, Linda. It's gorgeous. Lovely. Right. If you want to add any more gemstones to this, then just have a look on our website, JewelleryMaker.com, because we've got a whole library of gemstones on our website as well. Thank you so much, Linda. It's been brilliant having you with us today. Thank you so much. And do get involved with our other Designed By classes. We're going to be bringing loads and loads and loads of them to you over the next few weeks as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you've been inspired. Get this, add it to your order. It's a stunning collection. Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you. Bye.